What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the last week. This is episode 100. We've been doing this series for over 2 years now. Took a few breaks in the middle there, but finally got to episode 100. There's been a lot of these, and they've changed a lot over the time period when this has gone on. Going back and watching any of those early ones, a little bit rougher. As part of the 100th episode, I've been running a giveaway for several weeks for a Castle Mamba X ESC and a Holmes Hobbies Polar Pro V2 2700 kV stubby brushless motor. That ends today, and we've chosen the winner, and we'll announce that later in this video. I want to thank everyone who entered. It was awesome to see all the participation and just that everyone was looking forward to winning this prize. Hopefully the winner of it can put it to good use. But before we get to the giveaway, let's cover this week's topics. JConcepts is releasing another body for the scale truck market. This is a 1970 Chevy C10. This is the 12.3 inch wheelbase variety, as most of us would expect. This one, again from JConcepts, the proportions are maybe a little funky. Looks like it's got a really long bed and the cab and everything looks a little bit small. JConcepts has really been putting a lot of effort into the scale market with body options, tires, some wheels even lately. Sometimes they're just right on the edge there. You like them, you hate them. The creep body I actually kind of liked, but I know some people don't care for that one. On their bodies, they always seem to just have something they just don't always have that proportion that you're looking for exactly. It just always seems to be just a little different than what you would expect. I actually like C10 pickups myself, but if I was shopping for one of the many C10 body options that were available today, I don't know that this one would be the one that I would choose. You guys have to let me know what you guys think. You know, does it get the thumbs up or down? I don't know. Next, we've got a bunch of news out of Knight Customs. They recently released all of the files to be printed yourself for the SR5 Toyota. So if you want to make your own Marty McFly version of that Toyota from Proline, now you can download all of the files that Knight Customs has, and you can print them yourself. He's got these for sale on his My Mini Factory, and you can get all of the files for that vehicle for less than $30. If you are possibly interested in purchasing all of those parts that were available previously through Shapeways, you will have found that trying to buy all of those printed parts would have been very expensive. But now all you have to do is have access to a 3D printer, and you can basically make your own for just pennies in comparison. So go check it out. Even if you're just looking to add that fully detailed engine bay or the drop bed, the interior, whatever it is, it's worth going and picking up that file set, picking and choosing, or just kind of going at it step by step and just slowly transforming that SR5 Toyota into something really scaled out. And then next from Knight Customs, he's releasing some fender flares and other scale details for you Axial SCX 10.3 Jeep JL owners. You can now replace the stock style outer fender flares with a more high clearance aftermarket style like you can buy for full-size vehicles. These will give you more tire clearance, so it'll either eliminate rubbing, allow you a little bit more suspension travel, or even bigger tires. And lastly, if you're looking to add a servo winch to your SCX 10.3, Knight Customs is offering 2 options for that. These mounts will allow you to place a servo winch in front of that scale motor, but behind the radiator of that Jeep JL body. Just a nice tucked in location, the most logical spot to put a servo winch in this vehicle most likely. And you can do this a couple of different ways. One will be a print your own version from My Mini Factory, or you can buy it from Shapeways in case you don't have access to a 3D printer. The 2 different designs each have different benefits. One integrates that front bumper support, and the other allows you to keep the factory bumper support and just use a piece that kind of goes around it. Depending on what you're looking for, or if you're looking for compatibility with other aftermarket parts, one of these choices may be the right fit for you. I'll link to this product as well as all of the other products that Knight Customs is offering now in the description below. Go check it out. Next, we've got a story from Tamiya, and this one is not scale off-road based, but it's very scale nonetheless. This is the announcement of the Tamiya TC01, and it's coming in a Formula E styled vehicle. Very cool looking overall. Formula E vehicles do look very advanced and very cool. They're not nearly as exciting to watch in the real world as Formula One, but nonetheless, the RC version It's gonna sound fairly realistic now, right? But the new design of this chassis is super compact and a ton going on in there with inboard mounted suspension, both front and rear with a cantilever style setup. Overall, the whole package of this kit looks fantastic, especially with the detail that was put into the body on this kit. Now it's coming soon, it's not currently available, and the price of this kit seems to be around 260 bucks. So not terrible, but a little bit more expensive than some of the Tamiya kits that you may be used to. This overall just looks like a really interesting kit with a lot of detail, and one that's probably going to be a massive pain to finish painting and detailing once you've assembled this thing. For some reason, I've always liked the Formula One RCs, even though they don't have a lot of scale realism to the design of them. The overall appearance, of course, just looks appealing. This one maybe is going to be the one that makes it worth it for me to just go ahead and pick it up. Either way, it's cool to see when Tamiya comes out with a new platform, so always something to look out for. Next is a story that we actually covered several months ago, but since then I've actually got a hold of one of these products, and being in the current situation that we're all in, I haven't been able to get out as much, so I haven't been able to actually use it. But what I got is one of the Carry-All RC backpack setups. Now, like I said, I covered this several weeks back at this point, but this was the Carry-All RC backpack, and it's made specifically for people like us who like to go out in the trails hiking, and it's just been kind of modified or outfitted to work with what we're trying to accomplish. If you've ever been out on the trail and needed to carry your truck back, and maybe you're in areas where you'd rather have both hands free, or you'd just rather not hold your truck and have to carry it back anyway, or maybe you're carrying a backup truck, or you need to carry back one of your kids' trucks, then this backpack is set up to actually strap a vehicle to the back of the backpack. But beyond that, this one is actually one of the packages that you can get that's outfitted with a bunch of accessories as well. And since I haven't had time to go out on the trail, I figured I would just kind of run you guys through what is all in this thing in this video. So just running through some of the things that are included in this package. One is a Carry-All RC branded K&K hardware set. This is just a little hardware pack that goes in there to kind of get you fixed up if you're on the trail, you lost a screw, lost a nut, broke something, and need a replacement. These come in little baggies, but better yet than that, inside of this backpack, we have a great little organizer for it. Unhooking the carabiners and flipping them back, now we can access all of the pockets, of course. On the very back side of the backpack, we do have a number of the hook and loop style patch areas where you can add any of those patches you may have acquired and want to stick on there. And I know I have some of those around here, but I've never really had a place to put them, so I never kept track of them very well. But inside of the first zipper pouch, we have a first aid kit, which is handy for on the trail. And then we have a Power Hobby tool set. This is just kind of your basic tool set, 15, 20, 25, 30 tips, and a handle that will actually hold all of those. Inside of the next pouch, we've got a nice size lipo bag. If you don't have one of these, it's always a good idea. I usually try and carry one, especially when I'm out in the field. Then I've got some Crawl Space decals, but I don't think these are included. This backpack actually came via Crawl Space South, so that's why that's in there. And then in the large backpack, we've got that nice big plastic container. Now also in there is one of those little USB lights where you plug it into a USB power source and it's got an LED light on the back. Next in there, we've got a magnetic screw catcher with the, like neoprene style border around it to hold your screws. If you're out on the trail and it's kind of an uneven area, this will actually probably do a pretty good job at holding your screws and parts and all of that. And of course it has the Carry-All RC logo there in the corner. That magnetic work mat actually fits well in the, what you would typically call a laptop pocket in the back of the bag. And beyond that, it just has all of the pockets and pouches and net areas on the side for water bottles or whatever you're bringing with you that you would expect with a regular backpack. But the thing that I want to try is I want to see how hooking up a rig to this thing actually works. It's something that I haven't done yet because I just haven't got to get out on the trails. So let's grab a rig off of the shelf and try and hook it up. My ripper hasn't seen any action in a while, so let's use it. I took and snapped those carabiners just right over the hard points on my axle, and can you tell I'm ready to get back out on the trails? And that'll do it for all of the official news. But if you're looking for more entertainment, Matt and myself have been doing the live takeovers on Wednesdays, and tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to add John Schultz to the mix. So if you want to see us beat up on John a little bit, tune in for that. Should be 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, or Google what time it is for whatever part of the world you may be in. And then on Fridays, we've been doing the live kit builds, and we've just been finding some sort of RC kit to build live and just kind of hanging out and doing it. My wife joins us. She reads all of the comments, the banter back and forth. She does a really good job, and I think people actually like her more than me. But this week, we've got another one of those, and we're going to be building an old Associated RC10. I think it's actually a re-release technically, but either way, I've never built one of those old gold pans, and it should be fun. The vintage RC stuff is not something I have much experience with, so it's always fun to actually get to see kind of where it came from. So watch out for that one. Again, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, or however it applies to you. And then let's finally get into the winner of the giveaway. I used the website Gleam to kind of just gather all of this information. They take care of tracking all of it for you, and they pick the winner. And the winner is Christopher Roskosh out of Kane, Pennsylvania. So thank you for entering, Christopher. Thank you for entering everyone. I'll be shooting you an email and making sure that I get all of your information so I can get all of that sent to you from Holmes Hobbies. Again, thanks everyone who entered. I'm definitely planning to try and push more and more giveaways throughout the year. So stay tuned to the Scale News as always to enter those. But speaking of not a segue at all, this week's question. I was trying to think of a question for this week as I didn't have one just pop up naturally. And the one that I came up with that I think will give the most interesting answers from everybody is, what area or aspect of the hobby do you want to personally expand on or improve on the most? Is it your car collection? Is it your driving skill? Or is it your tools? Is it traveling to more places or hitting more races, scratch building skills in general? Just what area do you feel like you want to improve on? For me personally, I feel like it is always tool. For me, I'm always looking to try and find another tool to add to my collection to, allow me to build something differently than I used to. So I'm always searching for a unique tool or seeing a tool used on a automotive show and trying to figure out if I can find one that's the right size or scale for us. Just, it's a never ending situation. Tools are one of those things that I'm just always obsessed with. But what is your focus? Where are you looking to improve or expand? It's such an open-ended situation. It could be so many things that I think some of the answers could be really interesting. Really looking forward to hearing what your guys' answers to that question is. But with that, and for the 100th time, thank you for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy this series, and it's been a lot of fun. And for the 1 millionth time, if you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.